Hello everyone. So today I want to talk about something called energetic integrity. And I'm feeling like talking about this in a little bit of a relaxed way because I'm feeling very relaxed. So I want to kind of invite you in as if we were having like a little cozy gathering and coming into a kind of meditative place. It's a Sunday. And the sun is shining, and for me the energy today feels really really relaxed and quite inwardly focused. So join me, please, in that space if you feel to. Energetic integrity is a term that can be used to really sum up, to really encapsulate a way of living, a way of being, which really brings about a state of mastery, a state of enlightenment as well. But again, as I keep referring to in these videos, there's a difference between the old time spiritual paradigm and the new time spiritual paradigm, where the old time was rooted in pretty much pure liberation, and the new time is like a liberation plus empowerment, liberation plus embodying the divine within ourselves to have a co-creative role in our lives, to really play creator. And having energetic integrity is, if you like, you could see that as your goal to reach that state of both liberation and empowerment. Because, if we look at liberation, if we look at empowerment, mastery, enlightenment, they're these quite big macrocosmic goals, and they don't, it's not always clear how to reach them. But if you're aiming for energetic integrity, you already have there. It kind of says it by itself. That is also the pathway. The pathway towards all of these things is through energetic integrity. So aim for that. And mastery and enlightenment are there at the end of that pathway. So being in a place of energetic integrity, what that means, what does that feel like? To me, it is the most beautiful, clarifying, strengthening, simplifying state of being. It's kind of like being a diamond, like being a crystal. Because the frequency running throughout my being, or your being, when you have energetic integrity, is so pure and so strong and consistent. It is the essence of your truest divine blueprint in absoluteness. It's not polluted by any other vibration. So you feel that like throughout your being. That is there, and nothing can come in. Nothing can come in that you don't consciously allow in, because it is a vibratory match. And in that you are the creator. You are the process of creation, of creating, and you are the creation. It's like you are owning your power, your role as the creator of your reality, because you are embodying those frequencies, because you are embodying that, you are that. And therefore, the secret there, the key there, is the fact, now, this is another big teaching, but just take my word for it right now, if you can, is that imagine that the whole universe outside of you, and and this probably isn't an unfamiliar concept to many of you, but the whole universe outside of you is a reflection of what is inside of you. Imagine that that is a whole macrocosm that is completely also within your own body and your own aura. So that there's nothing out there that doesn't exist in here. And there's nothing in here that doesn't exist out there. And as we are all creators, having our own experience of creation, again, we're going into space-time stuff and how we can all be having our own individual realities, even though we're also all one. But anyway, you imagine that you don't need to be creating anything out there. You don't need to be looking out there or kind of aiming to create something in your reality out there energetically. So you don't need to be like, I want to experience peace in my life, I want to experience love in my life. And so you kind of imagine what it looks like out there. No, it's all in here. You can change something in here, and what's happening out there will then reflect it. So by creating, by generating, embodying the vibrations of, let's say, love and peace within your own inner universe, you are then going to start seeing that around you because you're creating it. You're literally being the creator. That is how the process of creation works. That is what the source does, the infinite, our great spirit. That's how he, she operates, by generating that within itself, and then it comes into being. So in having that energetic integrity, you are being your own energetic blueprint of yourself. Within yourself. And literally through that process, things happening in your reality will eventually, anything but something that matches that vibration will no longer come to you, will no longer show up in your reality. Now, to begin with, obviously, you can get tested. You will get tested, because when you are embodying those frequencies completely, when you are maintaining the energetic integrity of your own self, of your own truth, of your own divine blueprint, anything that is currently happening in your life, or that is still, you may have stopped that engine, but the wheels are still rolling, will kind of suddenly show up in your reality, and you'll get tested. Are you going to say yes to these things, or are you going to say no? And if you say yes, if you fall back into compromising, deforming your energetic integrity, muddying it, corrupting it, then of course, there's more practice to do, basically. But if you say no, then your energetic integrity gets even more crystallized, gets even stronger, gets even clearer, to the point where these things just will not come in anymore. And the life force that you then have available to you, because you are no longer attracting and dealing with, interacting with all these other things that are not in your deepest alignment, you suddenly have increasing amounts of life force, and you are kind of charging yourself up within your own source. Your own source. You are a source, a power source, connected to the greatest source. And the energy just gets stronger, just amplifies, and then you're calling in more and more and more things that are reflective of the energy within you. And your abundance increases, because, abundance, of course, on different levels. because you begin to, things start to really take off. You start to feel all the magic things happening that are now completely mirroring everything that you've been feeling within, rather than being in a place where you know what your energetic potential is, you know what your true essence is, you know who you are, you know those qualities, but you're still saying yes to things that are, that as your reality has been, that is on a different level. You're still saying yes to those things because they are your reality right now, and because you're a kind, beautiful person, you are open and you want to flow with things, and you want to be in an energetic dance with the things around you and the people that are around you, and you're compassionate, and you move your vibration around to adapt to these things, to adapt to the people, to adapt to what is happening in the collective consciousness. You keep yourself in that dimension, in that level of reality. So, in terms of moving on, it's something that we all feel so strongly a lot of the time, and people can get stuck for years because you want to go to the next level. You can feel what the next level is. And everybody around you in your life also wants to go to the next level. So you're kind of you're in this empathic collective situation with people in your life. You're all wanting to go to the next level, and you all talk about it all the time, and that you want things to shift, and how are they going to shift. But the fact that you can perceive that next level means that it is available to you, means that actually the invitation is there for you to move into it. If you couldn't see it, then the invitation wouldn't be there. The fact that you can see it, the fact that you can sense it, means that you have the power, you are ready now to actually choose consciously to make that step into that next level of alignment, of empowerment, of your mastery, of your liberation, of calling in the life that you desire in your heart. But the reason why so many of us, so many of you, don't do that is because of the collective stuff. A big part of it is because we are still in training to the collective energy around us. Because to move forward to the next level means being a pioneer, it means being on the front line, it means moving into completely unknown territory, because nobody in your community, in the people that you relate with in your network, are there yet. None of them are making that bold step either. So you are going somewhere completely new, and that feels like leaving everybody else behind. And of course, leaving everybody else behind, that's still just a perception. It isn't really the truth. Because what really happens, of course, is that you move forward and then you're inviting other people to come as well. At least those that are ready. But that taking that leap forward, taking that movement forward into the unknown, brings up so much stuff about tribe. It's all the stuff about that you're going to be judged, that you're going to be, that you're going to lose connections, that you're going to lose the power and energy that you receive through sympathy, because bonding happens through sympathizing with each other, through keeping ourselves small, through keeping ourselves on the same level as everybody else. So there's a fear of that being on your own and of being judged, etc. And, that judgment, people will judge you. They will judge you. Because the more and more energetically aligned you become, the more you start saying no to things. And that can be perceived as selfishness. And it's actually not selfish at all. It's actually, or in a way you could say it's not selfish. It's not for yourself, but it's also not for others. It's in service to truth, to a higher truth. And that higher truth takes account of both yourself and others, and the wider plan on the planet. It has its own intelligence. So you stay true to that, and it already has all the details figured out of who it's serving and how. But other people cannot see that. So, so somebody asks you for a favor, and, when you are in a place where you are truly devoted to spirit, where you are truly devoted to empowerment, to your purpose, to the spirit of life, you are in a place where you truly are always inquiring, you're always tuning in to your heart as to what the higher purpose, what the higher plan is of what should happen. You no longer come from a place of ego where you're like, does this, is this what I feel like doing? Or you're no longer coming from a martyr place of what will be the best thing for that other person. It's always a tuning in. And so you tune into it, and the clues that you're working with are, what feels, where the energy is moving, where the energy feels clear. If the energy feels clear there with that possibility, if it's feeling good, then those are your signs to go in that direction. If it isn't, if it feels constricted, if it feels blocky, if it feels muddy, then those are your signs that it's not meant to be that way. So someone asks you a favor, let's say, and then it's not feeling like it's flowing, or the energy doesn't feel clear, and then you say no. And and somebody can obviously think that you're being selfish, or that you're being inflexible, or that you're not being a kind spiritual person. But then, what can happen is that on another occasion, you will tune into something, and even though it puts you seemingly at a disadvantage, you will say yes to something that seems entirely beneficial to other people and not yourself. But then obviously what happens is that you then see how it does benefit you. In the end, everything, when you're on the path of truth, everything is benefiting you and your purpose, and benefiting the purpose of those around you and the people that you're affecting. Whether or not you can see it at the time, whether or not others can see it at the time, it's always that way when you are following truth. So when you are moving forward, there will be people in your life that won't understand, and they will judge. Until at some point, maybe when they are ready, through events unfolding, that they'll realize and they'll start to see differently. When they see where you're going, where they see who you're becoming, when they see you truly starting to shine in all that you really are. Because all that keeping yourself small actually keeps yourself hidden as well. And then people don't really see who you truly are. They don't really see the gifts and the light within you. You have to boldly move forward into absolute energetic integrity. It's not really even that you're moving forward. There isn't any real motion. It's more just a dissolving of saying yes to any vibrations that are not truly you. So it's like just a dissolving of the dross, of the little bits that are covering up the full strength and clarity and purity of your diamond. So then all of that comes away, and so then you are there. The other thing that people can hold themselves back for is the fear of missing out. It is a huge leap of faith to maintain absolute energetic integrity. A huge leap of faith. And that again comes through practice. And the more and more true you become to your energetic integrity, the tests will get harder. So that when you betray it, when you compromise it, you will get shown very clearly, that reality, what happens. So then you'll see that actually you're not missing out. Because you can think, okay, but if I keep saying yes to this, because you can see all the beauty, you can see all these potentials. We can always see all these potentials in everything. And so you can say yes to something, say yes to some reality, because you are getting seduced by the possibilities that your mind can perceive, because your mind can perceive infinite possibilities, because that's the nature of the mind. So, and if you go with that, then the more true you are to your energetic integrity, then the harsher those lessons will come, and then you'll see that actually, it gets worse. It doesn't get better. You don't get to that thing that your mind can see in terms of potential. That doesn't happen. It gets worse. So you learn that you're not missing out. You learn that you get to a place where eventually your energetic integrity becomes absolute. You won't even, your discernment and your intuition and your experience become so sharpened that it's like anything that comes your way, any potential that comes your way, you can perceive the energetic quality of that. You sense it, you feel it, and you listen to it. There is no doubt. You listen to it, you trust it completely. If it's a vibratory match, then you'll explore it a little bit more. If it's not, you say no. When it's a vibratory match, you explore it. You don't run away into fantasy, you explore it. But the moment that you start to see the lack of resonance there, then you walk away. And I'm not talking about, being perfectionist. I'm not talking about being in a kind of, having unrealistic demands and expectations and, being completely unreachable and expecting people to jump through hoops for you and all of this kind of stuff. That's a whole other, that's another spiritual teacher talking about a whole other stage in spiritual development. Everything that I talk about in these videos are for people who are already in a place of their spiritual development, of their personal development, where they are able to put ego to one side, where they are able to perceive, they have awakened to a certain extent that they can take responsibility, differentiate between the ego and the true self. So I'm not talking about being like a complete princess or a complete prince and expecting all these impossible things. It's about the energetics. So when the energetics are clear, you could, for instance, be in a relationship with someone, and that doesn't mean that it's perfect all the time. Because you can be having massive challenges, you could have conflicts to work out with your beloved, but the energetic between yourself, the energetic quality of how things feel between yourself and that person ultimately feels clear and empowering and resonant. Even when something within it needs to be sorted out, so on a microcosmic level, there was some exchange or something like this, and then again, and you can feel that something is not in alignment, and so then you address that with them. So I hope that is clear. So that mechanism for energetic integrity is about you. It's like you're constantly energetically aware of your relationship to everything. So if you think right now, let's do something. So right now, bring to mind three different people in your life. Just whoever comes first, 3 different people. And so pick the first person and kind of just imagine them energetically, just sort of place them over there. Just place them a distance from you. And then just feel how in the space between you, the relationship between you, imagine it as a kind of energetic space. And feel how that feels. So just, a lot of the time we can feel it like around our hearts. We can feel it in our bodies, sometimes even in your fingertips. It's like how your energetic body responds. What are the signals that you're getting? Does that space between you, does that relationship, does it feel strong? Does it feel clear? Does it feel empowering? Or do you get a little pang in your heart? Is there something muddy there? Is it something that pulls you down? Something that causes you to retract, contract? If there's anything there that feels off, feels down, feels cloudy, feels muddy, listen to that. Because you are not upholding your energetic integrity by colluding with that, by allowing that to continue. It may not mean that that person is not meant to be in your life. It may be that there's just something to share that you need to inquire into what your need is. So maybe just right now, just feel in yourself what needs to happen for that to change, for that to shift. What is the need within you? What is your true need? Your true need. People can get, in the spiritual community, people can get hung up on needs like they're bad. Human needs are bad. And actually in the new time, that's bullshit. And old time even, it's bullshit. Because we are having a human experience and we need to honour ourselves. So yes, let go of the needs of the ego, let go of the mind masturbation, the instant gratification of needs that our egos want. But we all, as human beings, and not just as human beings, as beings, have a need, have an authentic need for respect, for love, for honour, for belonging. There's a whole load of needs that we all have. We have the need to honour our truth as well. That is a massive one, just that we ourselves are honouring our truth. And quite a lot of the time, we feel these energetic dissonances with other people because we are not honouring our needs within that relationship. And of course we can look at them, we can look to them or blame other people, whatever. But it's actually that we're not honouring our needs. So again, that energetic integrity of what is it that you need. And then obviously you need to be honest with that person and share with that person and just be clear. And that alone can completely expel so much inner turmoil that we can feel on a daily basis. That's just there, like this low level, this kind of like underlying river of discontent that can pollute people's entire existences, and they don't realize it because they just accept it as true. And it's literally just, that is the feeling that is created when you are not listening to your authentic needs. You're not listening. It creates like a kind of, it's not a clean feeling like grief or anger. It's a yucky, muddy, like quite like internal conflict. And it's the same thing with when we're in a conflict with somebody, when you're in a discussion with somebody. If you are able to, in that discussion, if you're able to identify and be clear with what your authentic needs are, then it doesn't matter how that person is being. It doesn't matter if you can't reach a resolution. It doesn't matter if you love that person and there's some sadness there at the fact that you've had a disagreement. You'll find that if you at least are clear with what your authentic needs are and you express them consciously, then you'll come away from that conversation, that discussion, and you'll feel good, even if there's some sadness that you just had an argument. In fact, if you're clear on your needs, you won't have an argument, because that's what causes an argument, the fact that you're being pushed and pulled. You're kind of like you're in this power struggle, because you're not just like, these are my needs, which is just clear. There is nothing to argue about there. Nobody can pull anything from you, and you can't try to be pulling anything back, or there isn't any kind of obligation or people-pleasing or blame or manipulation or begging or negotiating. It's just, these are my needs. They're non-negotiable. This is what I need. When you are clear on that, when you can honor that, and when you can express that, then no matter what happens, you walk away and you feel good, you feel clear. There is a feeling of clarity there. Anything else, the kind of the momentary adrenaline or the kind of regret that you had a disagreement with someone that you love or someone that was important or whatever, that will soon drop away. That can kind of be let go of quite easily. You don't carry anything forward. When you haven't been clear on your needs, you come away and you have this like, feeling in your heart and in your gut. And that can just stay with you. And you can think to yourself, it's because of, that person, they make me so mad. I get so frustrated. It's like you can get all this like, feeling, and you can think it's because of them, and you can think that it's because of the argument, but it isn't. It isn't because of that. It's the feeling of the kind of self-betrayal. It's the feeling that your own spirit, your own true self, your own inner being is giving you because you didn't honor your needs, because you weren't clear on them, you didn't own them, you didn't share them. So I know earlier I asked you to look at 3 people, but we just looked at 1. And you get the idea. You can now go through all of the people in your life, and not just the people, but your relationship to everything in your life. And when something new comes into your life, you hear from somebody, or you get some kind of invitation, or whatever it is, everything that comes into your life or that is there already, look at the energy of it. Is it a reflection of your own energy? So there's There's a lot more to this, so I think this is going to be probably a little series about energetic integrity, because there's a lot more about how to experience energetic integrity, how to get to that place where you even know what your divine blueprint is, where you even know what that feels like, and how to acquire that in the first place. So thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day.